guys, and welcome to the Sandbox, the new video game show here on the Stream TV. I'm your host, Constant, and I got a gang of good guys with me. Guys, you want to introduce yourselves? We'll start right here.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Jake Harrison, also known as Sucio Jake, from San Diego. Mortgage broker by day, gamer by night.
Ballin'!
All right, I'm Alejandro, Director of Marketing for Extra Life at Los Angeles, and full-time ruggedly handsome Mexican.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Miguel. I'm from San Diego, and during the day, I work insurance and I race sport bikes.
And my name is Mike, also known as Optic Diesel on the online world, and I'm play video games for a living. I stream on Twitch, part of Optic Gaming. You guys might have heard of them if you're here for Call of Duty. Kind of do a thing or two there. So yeah.
And indeed they do. San Diego's representing down here. And Mike, I know you're a Chargers fan. We've worked together for a while.
We're not talking about that.
We got a couple San Diego guys in the house, and you race bikes, but we all like video games.
We do.
That's right.
We are here to talk about 12 years of Call of Duty. 12 years, gentlemen. I'm not going to ask your age, but 12 years is a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
So today, we're going to kind of hit it off with some easy stuff today. I want to know which Call of Duty it was that pulled you guys into the franchise. We'll start with Mike.
All right, so it was Call of Duty 2. Call of Duty 2 was the first just video game I played, period, that was my own. I had, obviously, my dad had video games. He had like Medal of Honor and things like that. But the first video game that I played multiplayer was Call of Duty 2. I had no idea. It was just like, I always played campaigns, and then it was, what's multiplayer? Clicked on it, and it was just like, holy shit, what is this? And I was hooked from there. I couldn't stop playing. So Call of Duty 2 was bread and butter, and still, today, I still think the most fun I've had on a Call of Duty.
Really?
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting, and we'll get into this, I'm sure, later, because you broke out into modes. Multiplayer, I was always a campaign guy.
Yeah.
I was scared of multiplayer because my skills weren't that great. But you've been living in the multiplayer space.
Yeah, for the last 10 years, which is really weird to say. 10 years.
Yeah.
I've been playing, and Call of Duty's been out for 12. I've been playing 10 of those years. I've been playing Call of Duty.
That's a real commitment.
Yeah, it's the longest commitment I've had. Period.
Wow. So, ladies, watch out.
Yeah.
Miguel, what about yourself, man? What got you into the franchise?
Oh man, I've when I was younger, I used to love playing video games. I've always kind of had a competitive nature. So I have to say the first Modern Warfare. Yeah, I used to go to my brother-in-law's house, just Thanksgiving, Christmas, just play and just kick ass. Really. No one else.
Take names later.
Yeah. So that and yeah. And then I never really got into the competitive side like you did, but I enjoyed the game, zombies especially, Black Ops 3.
Okay, all right. So you're moving on down the line then.
Yeah.
Alejandro,
So
what's up?
my first Call of Duty experience was actually Modern Warfare 2. I had played a lot of other first-person shooters beforehand, but that's the first time I ever really jumped into Call of Duty.
Okay.
And it was amazing, customizing. I played with a lot of friends, and that really what pulled me in more than anything else. Multiplayer, phenomenal. Loved it. It was absolutely amazing.
Okay, so it's Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2.
So that's kind of further down the line. Now, just out of curiosity, when you got into Modern Warfare 2, did that give you a thirst for the previous editions at all?
You know, I never really, I had checked out the previous ones, but for me, the previous ones kind of felt more like it was trying to be Medal of Honor in a sense, because I played those quite a bit. And so I kind of didn't really get pulled into it. I like the more modern, the advanced stuff that was more current date. The old stuff, I mean, there's plenty of old stuff out there, but like the current day stuff was what really pulled me in.
Well, yeah, and the old stuff was very era appropriate when it came to weapons and stuff like that, so I can see what you're saying. How about you, Jay? Which one was it?
World at War. Yeah, buddy.
Another good one.
Yeah, buddy of mine had it. I didn't have a game console or anything at the time, but every day after school, that's what we did. World at War.
Yeah.
Stuck with it since then.
So, okay, I mean, that was down the road. We have our expert here. World at War, that was probably like 2009, 8-ish, somewhere in there.
It's all a blur, to be honest with you.
It's all a blur.
Yeah.
I didn't play too much World at War, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of skipped over that one. Same thing with Call of Duty 3, though. I skipped over Call of Duty 3 as well. So we played Call of Duty 2. I played Call of Duty 2 for 3 years. Because we played Call of Duty 2 for, I think it's like a year and a half, close to 2 years, and Call of Duty 3 came out. We played it for, I think, a week. And then we were like, no. I'm not. There's cars. There's huge maps. That's when they introduced like the big, not big team, but like the ground war type game modes, and it was just too much. So us purists the competitive gamers, 4v4 is what we like. The maps were too big for 4v4. It just didn't play into the competitive thing that we were used to. So
4 kind of circled back around. 4, I think, had better maps for
well,
competitive
4 was
play.
great. 4
Yeah.
was incredible. That was the
Shipment was-
first modern warfare, because before then we just had like World War II, and that's what we were playing with.
Exactly.
We were all back in the day. So that was the first thing we were current with, like the M16s and the MP5s. Which were, MP5 was, if anybody says that wasn't the best gun in the game, you're lying.
All the discussions
Yeah.
on the MP5. But moving back to kind of some of the other ones, Miguel, I don't know if you ever got a chance to really get into Call of Duty 2 and some of the World War II ones, but these things had era-appropriate guns. There's a lot of debate on, like, a lot of times they say the newer ones are a lot easier to shoot. You guys have any feedback on that? The newer
I think
games?
it seems like I'm the only one who played COD 2.
No, because I played the big red one,
All right, yeah.
which
So
was
you're-
Call of Duty 2,
yeah.
kind of an extended
I
story.
mean, I liked the simplicity of Call of Duty 2 because
Yes.
it was, you had 5 pre-made classes and that's it. And everybody played the same thing, and it was Germans had their one side, or the Axis. You had United States had their own set of weapons, and the Russians had their own set of weapons.
right.
So you would always have to pick what team did you want to be on. So everybody favored the German side because they had the better weapons, MP40, MP44, the Carr 98, and the unscoped Carr 98, which was arguably the best gun in the game. So that was more purist, and I liked the era-specific weapons, although they were a little bit slower, harder to
Yes.
use, but it wasn't, they balanced it right to where it wasn't like too drastic. It's not like we were stuffing muskets or anything. So it's like, yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed that, which is why I was going to ask. Because I, first of all, as I said before, I'm a campaign guy. So usually with the campaign, you got to bounce around from different units, so you got to kind of play around with different guns. But I enjoyed the older stuff because to me it took more. I had to steady my aim. Now I'm just like, as soon as I tap the trip, I'm all over the place, and I still don't hit the guy. But so campaign versus multiplayer. Let's kind of get into that a little bit. You guys are campaign. You're a multiplayer guy. You're a multiplayer guy. What is it about campaigns that you dig?
For me,
Uh-huh.
honestly, for a lot of the Call of Duty games, I've never really played the campaign.
Really?
Yeah, I'm more of a multiplayer.
You're more
too.
multiplayers?
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I'm pretty competitive, so I just like kind of seeing what's out there. As far as there's someone else that's better, or something new I can learn, or I don't know, just that competitive nature. Not really a lot of single player.
All right. So Jake, you a campaign guy or no?
I like campaign.
Thank you. Finally, so I
Yeah.
got somebody in my corner.
Yeah,
What is it about campaigns that you dig, man?
it's less stressful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Zombies is enough stress for me, and they only move so fast. So
I hear. I mean, I took a lot of heat for being a campaign guy, as many people did, because
Oh, yeah.
But it was less stressful for me. When I jump into multiplayer, I'm like a fish out of. I'm just like, help me! I can't hit anybody. But for some reason with the campaign, I kind of treat them like books.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
I kind of
Yeah.
just bite off a chunk, and
Yeah.
then it's bedtime for me, and then I get up and I go do what I gotta do. And
Well, maybe
back
that's
at
why I
it.
haven't played any campaigns, because I haven't really gotten a book that interests me.
Really?
Yeah.
I've played all the campaigns,
Like,
but they're not great usually. There's not too much depth in the story for those. They're getting a little bit better with last year's AW. They had Kevin Spacey
Kevin Spacey,
was
yeah.
in it, so that was a little bit better. But the story's still, they're a little bit disconnected. I haven't touched any of the new campaign, which I heard is super interesting.
Yeah.
So,
I really enjoy the campaign part as well, but I used it when my friends weren't on and I didn't have a group of people to play with. So if they weren't around and it was just me by myself with a bunch of pugs, it was like, well, I'd much rather just kind of jump into the campaign. And the thing is, when you get into the campaign, it's late night. Like, at least for me, I'd play late night. Next thing I know, the sun's rising. It's like, oh, crap. It's how many hours into the campaign? Whatever. It was worth it.
Flat out.
yeah.
I'm gonna win the campaign. One way or
Yeah.
another, I'm winning. I don't care how many hours I put in. So
Exactly.
that was my big draw for it. And I always used to psych myself out and say, okay, I'm gonna go through the campaign. And that's gonna teach me how to be a better shooter. And then I'm gonna try multiplayer, and I'm gonna be awesome.
no.
No,
No.
it does not work like that at
doesn't.
all.
No.
Nope.
At all. Now, speaking of multiplayer and how well we shoot, let's just get it out the way early. The inevitable question every COD person asks the next COD person. We're gonna talk about KDs. First of all, KDs, for those of you that don't know, that's your kill-death ratio. How many kills versus how many times you die in the game. I'm just gonna go out here on the open right now and put it out there. Mine is horrible. If you want to know my KD, I think that they're going to make the playoffs, and I think he'll probably average about 18 to 19 points a game. How about you guys? Starting with you, Jake. Your KD?
I got to be honest, too. I do zombies now, so what does that make it, like 1,000 to 1 maybe?
Okay.
Something like that, right?
Something like that?
Yeah.
That sounds good. That'll work. Alejandro?
So, gosh, the last time I played Call of Duty, I would say it was probably like 1.58. It's not that great. It's
Not as good as
It's
1,000
better
to
than
1.
not as good as 1,000 to 1 with zombies, but I'll make it work.
It's better than mine. Miguel, how about yours, bro?
Oh man, I haven't checked in a while. It's probably below the 1 for sure.
Okay, I was going to
Yeah,
say,
I don't really have any. I say I'm competitive, but I'm not that good. So.
anybody that says they haven't checked in a while, that's usually a low KD, because that's what I'll be saying. Like, Gonzo, what's your KD? Oh, you know what, bro? I don't even know. I haven't even looked at it in a little while. Just check now. Oh, wait. I got to go. I'll be right back.
I don't really want to look.
You can go now. You can go now.
Exactly.
Right.
Everybody, clear your toes. We're going to let Diesel drop the mic. What's your KD, dude? Because you're good. I know.
I mean, I've always been an advocate. Stop focusing on KD. Start looking at your wins, your win percentage, because that's number one. Because I can go drop 70 kills and still lose a game because I'm not playing objective. I'm not doing anything. Another thing they started introducing is your score per minute. So that is another thing. So how many kills you're getting, objectives, how many kill streaks, which is better for everybody else because you may not have a good KD ratio, but you're calling in support, you're doing the objective, you're doing this. So your score per minute's a lot higher. So that's a better ratio of what kind of player you are, more so than a KD for me. Because KD, you could sit in a corner. I could sit in one part of the map, never move, go 20-1 every game. My KD is going to be incredible, but that's all you do? That's not good. That's not Call of Duty. If you play that way,
Here we go. I was waiting for the glove to come off. If you camp, is what you're saying.
odds are I don't like you, or I've said one or many bad things in the microphone.
So what if they camp and they're a Chargers fan?
No,
You can't, no matter what. You get no pass.
no, you can't.
So, okay, that's very interesting because it seemed as though in the earlier games you couldn't run around like you could
Well, I
in the
mean,
newer ones, just because of the way the weapons acted and things like that. You know.
I mean, I feel like you could always run around. You just have to use the right class. If you use an assault weapon, you're going to be a little bit slower. I always use submachine guns as the most part, but
Sure.
if you use like an LMG, you're a tank. Like you're supposed to just lock down an area. Like there's
Right.
specific roles you're supposed to play with specific weapons. I prefer running around. That's just the way I've always played. Just how many kills can you get in the shortest amount of time? How fast can you end a game? That's what I've always
Right.
liked doing. So running around, I mean, in the beginning, like Black Ops just came out, everybody's going to be slow because everybody's kind of learning
Trying
the
to
game.
learn the maps and stuff
So
like that.
it's those people who stay in that learning mode that I have a problem with.
Is there one Call of Duty release that like you will always be able to pick up and play? Jake, we'll start with you. Just any of the
Specific.
franchises. Well, you know what? Let's narrow it down. Is there any one in the first, say, 4 to 5
Between
out of
COD
that
2 and
bunch
COD 4,
that you,
pretty much, right?
I
No.
would say I'm with you, COD 4, but I was just curious about you guys. Is there one of those that you like? I can always dive back to that game and play.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
COD 4.
Yeah. What was it about that for you?
Just one of the beginning ones that I played with.
Yeah.
Just muscle memory, I guess, you know?
Well, that's kind of important because it was a lot of times when I played on the small, like shipment and things like that. These are small areas, so you do go off a lot of muscle memory
Yeah.
and stuff. But I always felt like that had a lot of action in it. Out of all the other ones I was really into the campaign, so it was a lot slower. But for some reason, shipment invited me into the multiplayer world, and I was just like, oh, this is so
Yeah.
good.
Well, you had a lot more going on because you had the kill streaks.
That,
I mean,
isn't that
the
was that
big
when they
ones
first
you
came?
had?
Or was it?
I think it was. I think
3 or
COD 4 was the one that at first, I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain it's COD 4 because I didn't play too much COD 3. So I think it's COD 4.
Right,
Because
I
then
didn't
you
play
had
3.
you had helicopters, you had bombs dropping everywhere. So you had tons of explosions. Everything's happening. Plus the game played a little faster. It was more modern. The colors were brighter. That wasn't like we're fighting in the desert, which is all like the COD 2 and COD 3, COD 4. Most of them you're fighting desert maps. So the colors were brighter. It felt like more like home. You're fighting in office buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It was cool.
Definitely. So you guys kind of the same 4 for you, or was there a different one that kind of just keeps drawing you back?
Well, for me, like I said, the only one I really, really liked the most was Modern Warfare 2. And I don't think that falls under any of those
Yeah, that's
4.
right after
Yeah.
the. But all right,
Pretty
I
much.
mean that's still a good one though.
Yeah.
That's still a good one. Miguel, how about yourself?
Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For zombies, for sure.
Yeah, I
It's
think
not,
that's
it's not in the one you guys were talking about.
It's not in the window, so you guys are breaking the
Yeah.
rules. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'll just put you out. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's those are good, and I can't wait till we get into those. And for those of you guys, this is going to be kind of a series. We're going to break it down the 12 years into kind of little bits. So make sure you stay tuned throughout the month of November because we're going to be celebrating the 12 years. One thing that brought me to the game, and I want to know what you guys feel about this, is like just the visuals and the feeling that you get. Like I really felt, and I played some of the older war games and stuff, but for some reason, the Call of Duty franchise just, when it opened up, you just kind of felt that war tension. Did anybody? Am I the only one, or anybody else feel that kind of?
I didn't feel necessarily tension. I just was impressed with how well the game played. The hit detection, the online experience, all of that was, I had tons of fun just with that. And it was hard to find that exact fit in other games. That was my problem, which has always sucked me right back into Call of Duty. Like the last two Call of Duties I've been kind of not on board with as much, but this new one, it sucked me right back in as well. So it's given me like that rejuvenated feeling. But
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say war tension or anything like that.
And maybe tension's a bad choice of words, but like for example, for me, I think it was it 2 when they first dropped the when the explosions go near you, you know your vision,
shell-shocked.
you get shell shocked,
Yeah.
and so was that in 2 when they first dropped that
Yeah,
out?
that's been in like multiple war games, like Medal of Honor had things like
But
that.
but for me, they really mixed the visual with the audio to try to get it. A lot of times, I felt like when other people use it, it wasn't really effective. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like threw it at me. But that was one of the things that I liked.
And I know, at least for Modern Warfare 2's campaign, I did definitely feel like the tension, but the immersion was also really is what set everything up. So like when you have to do the climb and you have to jump over on the ice in that one completely like snowed in level, like you could feel the tension on the jump, even though you're gonna make it, but it's like, So you definitely get that tension there for certain scenes like that. But yeah, I can definitely relate to what you're talking about in that sense.
Anybody else? Is there anything technically about the games that pulled you in, like again, like we said, the shell shocked or anything like that?
It's just easy to play.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. I get it.
kinda
It's simple. It's like simplistic.
It's very simple. You can pick it up and start playing. You don't really have to have a lot of skills.
Yeah, you might not be good like you, but like you I mean, you
gotta point
eventually.
that out.
I mean, you pointed it out yourself, but it is. It's simple. You could just give it to your friend who's maybe never played. He's maybe played a couple games, but they just say, "Here, this is how you shoot. Go play. Here's your gun. Enjoy yourself, and just figure it out."
Yeah.
So
It's like,
it's a pick up. You can pick up
It's
and
like
play.
virtual paintball almost, I think.
Yeah,
You
I
just
mean,
kind of go in there.
It does. I mean, you don't have to have too much knowledge of whatever to get in there and actually enjoy it. I think that's what kind of makes it one of those franchises that even as a casual gamer myself, it's worth picking up every year. Like I may play it on and off here and there. I'm sure I'm not as faithful as you and others, but it's still so good and so fun to pick up. You can pick up right where you left off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily. It's like some games, sports games and stuff. You got to build your guy up and do all this other stuff. You can just be like, I'm going shooting.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much to cover in these games. Is there anything that you guys feel like we're missing? Is there like your favorite level in your favorite Call of
What's
Duty?
your favorite map? Wow.
I was gonna. That's what I was gonna ask too. What the favorite map was, but
I'm gonna go if we're going to the first 4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a close tie between Crash or Vacant. Crash is Call of Duty 4. If you guys don't know, it's the one the helicopters crash in the middle of the level. There's a bunch of buildings around. Vacant, you're fighting through like an office building.
the office building.
Yeah, those are the 2 out of those. Or Call of Duty 2, Tujane, Tunisia, which none of you guys probably know unless you're those diehards. That map was incredible. I want them to bring it back. They still never have. It upsets me.
It was okay, all right. I'll get into that one. Any of you guys favorite maps?
From the first 4?
Yeah.
Not really.
They're like, no, not really, not really.
I don't
No.
remember that game really.
You guys missed out on Shipment then,
Yeah,
dude. That was
Shipment was good, but I wasn't. Even though I'm an Optic, I wasn't big on the whole 1v1 sniper thing, which is what Shipment. I feel like that's where Shipment got its
Yeah.
own like cult little following with. If you were in that circle of snipers, like Hutch and Hex and those guys, those guys were the snipers. So, for me, Shipment never really sucked me in.
See, it did for me, much like in the later versions, Nuketown sucked a lot of people in because it was so small. Like I just felt like I was effective.
It's just a mosh pit.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you know
crazy.
what I mean?
Chaos.
Because I often will run around a map and being kind of the novice player, I'm always looking for action. And then there's nothing happening until somebody comes to shoot me from behind, and I'm like, oh, what just happened?
Yeah.
But I felt like Shipman, I was a predator. You know what I mean? I could do the damage.
You're watching people spawn like next to you.
Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the 1v1 sniping, and I kind of want to tie that into the style of play for Call of Duty. Because again, coming from the campaign side, I found myself being a camper sort of because you stop and think in campaign and stuff. Is it okay to be somewhat of a camper when you're a sniper?
No.
Really?
No. Absolutely not.
Can you stay in spots longer though?
Yeah, I mean, survey your surroundings. Do what you need to do. If you're there for more than 10 seconds, you're camping. Move. Keep
It's
moving.
not fair.
Keep moving. Keep moving. Enjoy. Play the game. Check out the map. Who knows? You may do something crazy. Somebody comes around a corner. You might just blind fire. You'll get it. Just try it. Try it out. People who camp, move around. Just try something different. Just try something different. That's all I'm asking. Is just try. It's like a little
try it.
PSA. Just please, from me to you, please move. That's it. Yeah, please move.
Miguel, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. That depends because I haven't really played a lot of the new ones. I don't know how many players can play at once in a game. How many is it?
Well, it's usually 8v8 or 6v6.
8v8, okay. So I mean,
Yeah.
if you're camping, I mean, there's 8 people. There's 16 people total playing.
Yeah, it's usually 6 or
There's
12
really
people,
not
yeah.
much. I mean, you're not going to be in one spot for more than 10 seconds. You're going to get killed. Someone's going to come see you. Someone knows the spots. So
Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong, huh? Because I'm there a little longer than 10 seconds. I mean, I'm not saying build a condominium and raise kids. I'm just saying, like, I need to be over there for a minute so I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
But you're saying keep it moving even
Yeah.
when you're a sniper.
well, I mean, there's so much going on that you
Never-
got to keep moving.
I just don't like the people who have their dick in the dirt all the time. Which is you're flat on your stomach and you're just aiming down a hallway and
Just
that's all
prone.
you're
Just
that's
prone.
it. And you're ADS, you don't look. You're just focused on one area. Those are the people you can walk up, you're teabagging them behind, dancing, spinning around, and then knife them in the back. It's those kind of I don't like you. I don't like you.
That's
Yeah. Don't camp.
I think you're mildly upset about campers.
Yeah, I don't like them. Yeah, I don't like them.
this is get it out. Let's get it out here.
Yeah.
This is
There's
therapy
a lot of
right
pent
now.
up like aggression.
A lot
I
of
feel.
people probably were like teabagging. What is he talking about? I don't
Yeah.
Quite frankly, though, the ability to go prone wasn't even in. I mean, it didn't even get introduced until what?
Prone was always there.
Was it? It wasn't in number. Well, I didn't think it was in the very first one. I thought it didn't come in
Could you
until
go prone?
like.
Maybe you couldn't go prone.
I thought it was
Two.
two, or
Could you go prone?
I think it was two. where
I
you
never
could go
did. I never
prone.
did the prone thing. I never did the drop shotting. So I don't even know when it originated.
I think it was two where you could go prone and then you could start going over obstacles a little bit.
You could not. You could just climb. You
I
couldn't
mean,
go over obstacles.
scale the little obstacles, little. I think that was
No,
two.
not in 2. There was no obstacles. There's just ladders and rooftops and that kind of stuff. There wasn't like anything to climb over. There's no mantling system or anything like that. Super, super basic.
Huh.
Very straightforward. I know you could go prone in Call of Duty 3 because people would do
Yeah, I
that.
didn't play much
Lay
in
down
3,
with
yeah.
like this LMG that had like 100-something rounds and just spray down these lines of sight. It was obnoxious.
Yeah. No, I didn't get. 3 is the one that I missed out on.
Yeah, I think you could go prone in 2, 100%. Now that I'm remembering.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think
you
you
could.
could go prone in 2.
Yeah.
I think they also you could go prone and then you could do a few more other things that made you a little more agile.
Been
Because that's why I used to watch my friends play the first one because I really wasn't into it at first. I
I
was
mean, you could jump around, but there wasn't like any complex movement system.
nothing near what's going on. You're not running up the side of walls
No,
or
no.
doing any of that kind of stuff. But it was, I remember watching them in the first one where like if they would come up on this like a cement thing, you had to like go around or do whatever, and then all of a sudden like in 2, I believe you could just kind of scale right over it and keep moving. So that was a good one. Too much knowledge for you guys right there, right?
Just dropping
Oh,
bombs.
download
We
it.
just dropped knowledge bombs.
Downloaded. I got it.
all over the feet, all over the feet. So, I mean, we've kind of brushed on the first, say, 4 years
Yeah.
of the game so far, and they were this is the time where they started jockeying between the two developers, a couple of developers. Is there, and you know better than all of us, so I'm gonna save your opinion for last.
Okay.
Is there one of the developers that you think kind of captured the story better than the other, at all?
If I had to choose, I'd go with Infinity Ward because I love the Modern Warfare 2 storyline. It was great. So I think they did a really good job with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Jake,
I'm all
you?
about zombies, so it's Treyarch, right?
I believe
It
Treyarch is
is.
a
Treyarch
zombie,
is zombies,
sir.
yes,
That's
sir.
who I am, the zombies.
Treyarch.
Treyarch
for me,
too?
Yeah.
So we're picking between the first 4 years. Are we
Hey,
talking
I'm
does
all
Call
over.
of Duty the best?
You know what? Let's go with let's blanket it right now. Who do you think does it the
Treyarch.
best?
Treyarch. From community support, how many updates? I played last night for 10 hours. I had to restart my game twice because they had quick little hot fixes they were throwing out. With that, the way they support esports, the theater system, how just in touch with everything their development team is. Vonderhaar, shouts out to you. He's a legend. So he just, everything they fix, they get it. It's not, oh, we're here to make money as well, obviously. But
Sure.
they get that they can't just put their game out there and just expect everybody to like it. They're always wanting to better their game.
They
And I
still
feel like
got a
they
little-
do
they-
that better than everybody else.
They still got some gamer in them.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
and that's very important, especially for a game like Call of Duty,
Yeah.
because it can grow old quick. You know, if they're not really trying to make it that intricate, if it's just blah, you're gonna be done with it pretty quick. I would have to say, I think Treyarch as well. Was it Treyarch that made World at War? Mm-hmm. Because that was one of my favorite. I know we haven't really got into that one yet, but I think that was one of my.
Because that's where zombies originated, World at War.
Yeah, I think
That's
that
Treyarch,
was my one of my favorite ones where I really drank the Kool-Aid. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure we'll get into that on later episodes. But guys, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys talking about
Yeah.
Call of Duty with us. Is there anything you guys want to get out? Anybody want to challenge anybody on? I know there's some people out there watching. You got some beef you need to get out
What's your
with
gamer
somebody
tag? If
online?
people want to play, what is?
Yeah.
Throw out your handles.
Yeah, if you guys want to put your gamer tags out there, go right ahead.
Well, I play on Steam, so Mave Online is my handle. You can just add me and we'll play.
All right. Anybody else?
Xbox One, Dirty Profit with 0.
Okay.
The Dirty Profit.
Your
Yeah.
friend list is probably so full that there's probably
Yeah.
a waiting list.
There's probably lower. It's the same Optic Diesel on everything. So
Yeah. Jake, so I'm not,
not
you
interested.
ain't getting mine. It's just,
No.
it's just Jake and the zombies. You can forget about it. He ain't giving you the
Yeah,
gamer
this is
tag.
my after work time. I like to decompress a little.
this is for me,
I don't
not
need
for
you
you.
yelling at me right now.
This is my alone time. I'm on Xbox One. It's OG Constant, and I'm on PlayStation now also. Play PS4, and I think it's my PSN is It's Me OG Constant, I believe. So just look for OG Constant and you'll find it. So guys, looks like that's going to do it for us here on the Sandbox, our very first episode. Again, we are celebrating 12 years of Call of Duty. We've only touched on maybe the first 4 so far. So make sure you check us out next episode when we get into the ones that these guys were all about, huh?
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace.